the examples of the basic quantities? That's why we will learn about the basic quantities. So there are 7 basic quantities that we will learn today. The first one is length. Length is symbolized by the letter lowercase l on the capital L. Unit is meter or m, but sometimes if you measure it in ruler or micrometers too, unit is in centimeter or millimeter, so we can convert it to meter first if we want to follow the standard unit. So the tools that we can use to measure length, there are ruler, vernier, caliper, and you know the other example? The scales. No. For length. Maybe you know the other tools that we can use? Micrometers too. Yes, like micrometers too, and maybe a measuring tape. Okay. For the example, because length is the distance of 2 points or the extent of an object, so the example, first one is the distance of 2 points. The point A to point B, there is the distance that we can measure it in meter or centimeter, and it's called the length from A to B. And for the extent of an object, the example is when we want to know how much is our height from head to toe, we can measure it maybe using the measure tape from our head to toe. It's normally about 115 something or 116 or 117. 70 I mean, I'm sorry. So, like and the second basic quantity is mass. Mass is the amount of an object. Amount that there are in an object. The symbol of mass is lowercase m with unit kilogram that we often write it kg, K for kilo and G for gram. Now, the tools to measure the mass, we can use scales, digital scales or the beam scales. The example of measuring mass is when you go to the market, maybe you want to buy some fruits, for example an apple. You want to buy a kilogram of apple, so you need something to measure the mass. If it's a kilogram or 2 kilogram, we can use the scales. For example, in this picture, an apple measured in a digital scales. So here is 80. Maybe it's 80 gram I think. And in the right corner, there is beam scales that we can use for measuring the mass of anything, as long as it's not too big for the scales. Maybe we can use it now. Maybe in laboratory someday we will learn to use this. The third one is time. So time symbolized with letter small t. With unit, the standard unit is second or s. But maybe in our daily life it can be hours, minutes, convert the mass to the mole. And the last one is luminous intensity. Is the intensity of light that we can catch every day. Maybe this light bulb or the sun's bright. So luminous intensity symbolized by the red I and V. The IV and within candela that we often write it as CV, and the tool that we can use to measure the luminous intensity, we can use a photometer or the wax meter. For example, you want to know how bright is this room. Maybe you can use the wax meter or the photometer. You can bring it here and you can use it, get the lamp turned on, and you can know how bright is this room. Or maybe you want to ask something to me about the basic quantities or anything else you want to know. You have no question? No. Okay. Since you have no question, I want to ask something. Do you remember the seven? The seven units of these basic units. Units. Maybe it's meters. But for length is meter. For mass, kilogram. For time, second. For the electric current, ampere. For the temperature, Celsius or Kelvin. Okay. For the amount of substance, for the luminous intensity, candle. I'm sorry, it's supposed to be quantity, but I read it in unit. I'm so sorry. It's supposed to be quantity. So it's seven quantities that we often use in physics. It's the basic. The basic quantity only have one unit, and it's not derived or something. So the quantities for the foundation of measurement in